All right, everybody, welcome to the Petrified Forest National Park and the Painted Desert. They're both together. The wind was upwards of 40 miles an hour at times, with gusts upwards of 50 miles an hour. We know this because the ranger station had a weather station there, and so the audio was completely unusable. I couldn't use my gimbal. I had to use my hand for all the filming because the gimbal simply could not handle the wind. Look at the amount of petrified wood here. The entire forest is down. This is something that some people may be familiar with if they've lived in Washington State or have gone through Washington State. The Gingko Petrified Forest in Vantage, Washington, has trees like this. The one thing I wish this place did, that Gingko did do, is they actually wrote down the kinds of trees. In this one, you can see there's actually still bark on it, and it's just fascinating. You can see the rot there, and the trees are everywhere. Everywhere you look, there are trees. And where there's erosion in the cliff walls, there's more trees. And there's sandstone on top of them, as you can see there. But they're just everywhere. The thing that I really like about it is the fact that it's just wide open. Now, there's a lot of restrictions as to where you can go and things like that, but for the most part, you can see what you can see. It's also interesting seeing these trees and how they've fallen down. This thing was really cool. It said that where I was standing was down by Costa Rica, and that's why the dinosaurs were there. There were several different fossils that they found on site. So that was 220 million years ago. So yeah. And these are the analogs between the two. And I don't know. I think they use a lot of imagination for a lot of this. But it was interesting to see. And of course, that's the big daddy version of our crocodile. But yeah, so all this land was down in Costa Rica, or the Costa Rican latitude, I should say, because some shifting has occurred. But so these trees were tropical trees. I have no idea what kind of trees they were, but you can see from the width of them, the diameter, that they're 2 foot, 3 foot. In some cases, I saw even 4 foot thick trees. It was absolutely fantastic. You're now starting to see some of the color of the Painted Desert come through. You'll notice the purples. I've never seen purple soil before, and so it really kind of struck out to me what on earth that could be. The funny thing is I had to stabilize some of this footage because the wind was so bad that even holding the camera, trying to hold it steady, I couldn't do it. And in many cases, I was leaning off to the side. It was absolutely hilarious. And several people lost their hats there, and I'm sure they're now in Wisconsin. It just kept going. But yeah, look at this purple. Look at the purple soil there. And it, here as we go on, it'll get more pronounced. But the trees are just absolutely everywhere. And they call it the rainbow forest because of that mineralization that occurs. And I'm walking here along one tree that is easily over 200 feet long. And, you know, I mean, it's fractured into sections, but it's still an amazing tree. You know, and some of them don't have that colorization, but they're still there. And I'm sure it's based upon what minerals were around the trees that seeped into them. But like this right here, just absolutely incredible. It's all the colors and quite impressive. And as you can see from the horizon, there's nothing out there. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And so you have to want to get to this place. It took me over 2 hours to drive from Camp Verde, which is where I'm at now, to this location. Look at the crystals in this. There's actual crystals forming. And to me, when I looked at it, they just popped right out. I mean, on camera, it doesn't look that impressive. But when I was looking at it with my eye, it was really, really fantastic to see it. Now you can see more of the purples and the reds. This is a little valley, windswept valley, and when you turn around, there's this tree, that petrified tree that spans this valley, and apparently back in the 50s, somebody was walking over it and they heard a pop, and so they had to put concrete underneath it to keep it from actually breaking and falling apart. And obviously no one's allowed to walk out there anymore. The landscapes are really rugged as you go on. They can definitely, you can definitely tell that they're far more rugged than they were before. And in some of these deposits, it almost has like a green tint to it. And it was really, really kind of it played with your eyes, because you'd see the purples, the pinks, the greens, the grays, the browns, all of it kind of put together, and it really, really looked fascinating. Now we're coming to the end of the trip on this one. When you get to this is the last little bit of the hike, and the purple just rocked on all of this. It really was magnificent. Even though the wind was absolutely furious through this place. And I'll tell you, the video does not describe the wind that you're seeing, but I was feeling it. And it is an asphalt trail. It's not a bad trail. It's just that the wind was a dynamic that I was not really anticipating. But if you guys know what makes soil purple, I'd love to know it, because I've never seen anything quite like it before. You'll also notice that all the brown pebbles, all of those are rounded off, and so those are river rock. And the river rock is above the purple deposit, so all of this was flowing water at some point, enough to round off all these rocks. And I mean, they were smooth, all of them. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope you liked it.